Yo, what's up, everybody, and welcome back to the official Goobster's Room podcast.
Yes, sir.
And today we have my boy, the dude that I started making music with right here, the one, the only, Devincii.
It's good, y'all.
Yo, what up, what up, what up? So, introduce yourself for those who may not know who you are. For any new fans out there.
My name's Devin, but I go by Devincii. Devin's
Yep.
the government.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm an artist out here in the San Fernando Valley, repping the 818, and just making it happen.
Yes, sir, skis. But before we get started, I want you guys to get settled in. So, if everybody got their drinks,
Yeah.
get your drinks crack open.
The Goobsters, man. The Goobadellos.
Get your Goodellos, the official sponsor of the Goobster's Room podcast.
Cheers, bro.
Cheers, 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 and cheers to everybody watching. Alrighty, so let's get started. So, I think today this is a very special episode to me because, for those who may not know, Devincii is one of the one Aikido members, which is basically an old collective where we came from. Me and this dude literally started making music together.
Yeah.
Well, like close to it, like damn near close to it. We've been at it for like 5 years, since about 2017. And yeah, like it goes way back. So I kind of want to reflect on what it looked like. So before we even like linked up or whatever to even make music, this all started in Poly High School. You know,
Yeah.
I want to take it like way back, bro. Like,
Yeah.
we're gonna reminisce real quick for a cool minute.
Yeah.
So I remember like I had my group or whatever. I would kick it with like, Kevin. So for those who don't know, Days Kevin, and then who else would I kick it with? Like even Justin would kick it with us for a little bit. So that
Right.
dude's Saint, and then a few other people who didn't really make music, but they hung out with us. And then you would hang out with like the fucking like the other dudes, like the skaters and shit, like Alan.
Yeah.
Shout out Coconut. I think he watches these.
Coco.
Yeah. But so him, Del Giorno, and all that.
Yeah.
But so before rapping, it was like skating. You know what I'm
But
saying?
that's like that was. I mean, it still is, but that was like my first love type thing of like what I was really passionate about.
Yeah, but so when did you start like hanging out with us though? Because I'm trying to remember like exactly kind of how it started, like, or if you remember what side of the story that's what it was. Because so it's like you would hang out with them, and then we hung out over there like in the cafeteria, and you were like
Yeah.
by like the bungalows or whatever. And when did you start like coming over? Do you remember or not really?
I think, bro. I think like it started with like us getting like becoming more friends in like Kowalski's.
Oh yeah.
in, like, Kowalski's class,
Oh
bro.
yeah. That's what. See, that's why I had you, because I like
Yeah,
I forgot
bro.
that was a thing. Yeah, and I remember like we would talk kind of about music, huh?
Yeah,
Just like
yeah.
a little tiny bit.
Yeah, and at the time, like I think you were smoking still.
Oh yeah.
At that time,
Yeah.
were you?
Maybe. No, I
That
think
was
I
like
had
11th grade, I think.
No, I think I probably already had stopped.
But I just like every time like I would see you though, or like we would like be in that class, you just like I could tell like my boy was, like he used to not geeking, but like that was the vibe he gave off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
just
some-
like
also-
chilling,
Yeah.
vibing, like
Yeah.
faded on life.
Cause you sat in front of me,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
I sat
facts.
behind you.
Yeah, you sat in the back, like
Yeah.
more towards the back. Yeah.
And then okay, so it happened with Kowalski's, but when did we start talking about music though? Like, that's just like so like it's
to be
like
honest,
because
like the very first like convo. Like,
yeah, it just kind of like
bring it to light.
happened.
Yeah, to be honest, I feel like that's the best way to put it, bro. It kind of just happened. Like we just talked a lot more in that class. We became really cool, and then I mean, it must have been like I don't know, maybe like one of the days or whatever. I just ended up linking with you at lunch or something, and then we just started kicking at the cafeteria tables over there.
But did you? Because I think we like released a song, like
Oh, yeah,
me, Kevin, and
yeah.
Hearns. We just like released
Yeah.
like a random ass song. Did you hear that one? Like maybe like
I heard it. Somebody, it's because I already knew about like Kevin. Like I knew of Kevin and like just seeing him around and shit.
yeah,
And like we had a lot of mutual friends and stuff.
yeah,
And I was already trying to like do the music thing. It's just like I kind of was trying to find like somebody else to do it with, so I wasn't just hopping into it like
Yeah,
alone
like-
type thing. Like,
yeah,
just to find somebody else that had like that same interest in music and stuff, and the
Yeah.
types of music too. Cause like to be honest, bro, like the other people, like other homies that I had, like they weren't like on the same like music wave as far as like what I was on, like Flatbush and like
all that
like
Beast
Joey
Coast,
and like Beast Coast shit like that, like listening to that and like really getting in tune with like rap music and just like what it is as a whole.
Yeah.
And like just the new wave of like the underground, but like no, it's like if you knew type thing, like Flatbush, like that type thing. And you guys were all on that shit.
Yeah.
And like I feel like it's just like that's why it's the power of music, bro.
Yeah.
Just like that, like I feel like it just eventually just brought us all, and we just started kicking it like often, bro. Right there at the lunch tables, freestyling every day and shit.
Yeah, that's what I kind of want to talk about too, because before we even like this is like early. So before we even what did you do? I think because we dropped. Excuse me, the devils are hitting. So cheers, everybody. But I remember. Me and Kevin and Hearns, we dropped that song. Like, we dropped the song originally, like, and then we waited like a whole year. Like, that song we dropped in like 2016. So like that was like our first ever song. But for a whole year we didn't do nothing. But with Kevin, at least Kevin would always talk about like, oh, let's make music. And then my head is like, I kind of didn't really take it serious in the very, very, very beginning, like the very first year, because we only dropped one song. And we were just fucking around. Mm-hmm. So I remember that came about, but I don't. I'm just trying to remember like what happened first. So that was like the first thing that I remember, and then I don't know if like because you also recorded a song too, and I think you showed me in Kowalski's class.
Yeah,
one that you recorded with Pedro, right? You said you filmed on iMovie.
iMovie,
was that your first ever song?
Yeah, I can't remember the name of that song right now, but it's somewhere, bro. It's somewhere. I think even you had it for a little bit. You might have it on some funny shit. Let me find out. But yeah,
are you talking about this one?
Damn, bro. Yeah, shitty ass recording. I don't even know what the fuck.
That's just funny.
I thought it was so hard though at that time. This just like the fact of making my own song. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, y'all know Devincii, but y'all don't know Devin.
No cap.
Fucking. This is your first ever song. Nah, it's funny because before the podcast, I wanted
I don't even have that shit. Dog.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. Look. Wait, what is it? Hold on. That is so irrelevant. You know my lyrics heaven sent. I'll spin on any beat. No, I don't have a preference. You are just a
fucking whack, bro. So corny, dog. That was the Rhyme Zone days, bro. That was the let me just irrelevant. Let me just find all the words that rhyme and how I
fucking forgot about that. Fucking Rhyme Zone era.
Lifesaver, dude, no cap.
That's funny as fuck. Yeah, but so I remember you had that song, and I remember you showed me. I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. And I don't know how, like, I just kept the song.
Yeah, man, like, that's a trip. You have that shit.
Yeah, so fucking you heard it here first. Devincii's first ever song, but it's funny. Yeah. But from that, like, it's honestly good to still have shit like that, because from that to now, bro, like, it's a whole other level, bro. Like, we've gone through fucking stages of shit. 100%. But so then also like okay, so then at the tables, then we started rapping a lot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, and that's when everybody was like, we were all just freestyling at the tables, and then. That's when we took the iconic Aikido photo. I gotta see if I can find that picture and just boom, throw it up right there in the podcast. Yeah. But that's like, I'm probably gonna do that.
Talking about at the
the tables. Yeah. Oh fuck, I forgot we even, dude. How did I forget about Commotion? I forgot about that. Holy shit.
That's
dude.
That's long gone in the sound. That was in the SoundCloud. Like 2017, like the start of 2017, around there, like probably the middle.
Yeah. Well, I still have a bunch of Aikido shit. Like, I still have the it's hidden right there, but I have the picture. I'll probably take a picture of that and put it in the podcast. Oh yeah,
you had it. You have like the official.
That's what we used for the Commotion cover. Yep. So it's like we were all there in the fucking tables and shit. Yeah, that was literally 2017.
Shout out Pauly, bro.
And then fuck, man. So. Well, and then I kind of want to also talk. So we would freestyle a bunch at the tables, and then we I don't know. We would literally just freestyle, and then I don't remember when we started making music. It's because we came across Ethan, I think, and then fucking.
And that's who I was. That's who I was like. Like I would record. I recorded like after that song, bro. Like my first time ever recording on a mic. Like
was it Bliss's Key?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Was it or
wait?
No?
It was a song that it was a solo song. I think. Fuck, dude. I suck at fucking remembering things. But I would just basically like before we like around that same time we all started kicking it more at the tables. Yeah. I recorded like my first official thing like in Ethan's room. Like,
Oh.
shout out to that fool, yeah, because he had already been on music for a while. Like,
Yeah,
when
because
I
he
met
was
him,
on
he
he was
was
on the
DJing
he
and
was on the EDM
producing
wave.
like EDM tracks and house music and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
so
he was already on it. He already knew like what to do.
yeah, so and then so I want to talk about that, and then after that then we came up with the group name, remember? Because we would all just link together. We're like, we need a group name, and then we came up with like Aikido Notion.
Yep.
So as far as the meaning goes for that, you guys will get that in another episode. 'Cause
Facts.
it goes deep, but way deep. Like I still got to get all the other dudes on here too, get their
Yep.
perspectives on that shit, because that shit was crazy. But then because this is like the early era. It's funny because normally I would ask like, how did you start, or how do people start making music? But it's like I kind of know,
Like,
you
we
know
all
what I'm
just
saying?
been right there.
Yeah, but or well, what? Well, actually, let me ask you. So, like, what moved you to start that very first song that I just played, that one? Like, what moved you to make that song? You know what I'm saying? Because we
Yeah.
didn't tell you, and that was before we were even Aikido, and you were
Yeah.
just like, oh, I'm rap. So, like, why
Like,
did you
just-
do that? Yeah.
I just feel like I've always had like a love for like just like the raw, I don't know how to say it, like the raw sounding music at the time of like the SoundCloud shit. A lot of people were dropping shit that was just like raw and stuff like that.
Yeah, like
And like
Bones
I
and
just
all that
yeah,
shit,
and like a lot of the
Sesh.
artists that I was following at the time like just inspired, bro. And I was like, you know, I had been writing since I was like probably like 12 or something, like in my notebooks and stuff, just like little rhymes here and there about like just literally a bunch of bullshit, but just like trying to practice like writing, because I just always had a passion for it growing up. Like,
So you already been writing.
yeah, I just
Even-
never recorded nothing. Like I would
Oh,
I would
okay.
just write stuff like in my notebook and like just write rhymes and shit that I thought was cool. It was corny as fuck, but
Nah.
just like yeah, like that's how I started like wanting to learn like how to like really write some shit and like write some songs. And like shout out to my parents, bro. Like they like I feel like I grew up on a lot of like I was a lot more open to a lot of more things than like the average kid would be as far
Yeah,
as like
music taste wise.
yeah, like and they would just put me on to a lot of like different sounds and stuff. I didn't just grow up on straight hip hop. Like I grew up on like rock music and like the Smiths and like Nirvana and like just stuff like that. And like I feel like that has a lot to do with the type of music and like my appearance and everything. Like it just
it's
molded
like-
me into like, and I just always had this thought, bro. Like I always felt like I was like I had to do something like artistically. Like I just always been drawn to like drawing things and like just expressing myself in different ways. And
just
I found
anything
like
creative. Yeah, I
and
felt the same way.
And I eventually like realized that like music was like my favorite way of doing that. So
Yeah, that's dope. So,
After that,
that's
yeah,
what
just-
started it, and then
yeah.
just all the Aikido shit and boom, boom, boom. Yeah, it's funny because, well, you said you recorded the first song at Ethan's house or whatever, but then shortly after, like, I wanted kind of to learn. It's funny because I got drawn into the computer side of things, and I kind of wanted to learn a little bit of that shit too. So that's when we used to go every Saturday to Justin's house. And I remember there was one weekend where we were just going crazy. That was like our first songs. Like it was literally like, I'm pretty sure Ethan probably still has fucking Snapchats of that shit or some shit.
Yeah.
We fucking recorded the first song.
We all slept in that fool's room, I think, that day too.
Yeah,
We were
Justin's
on the
house.
floor and shit, and on the bed and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was that's fucking throwbacks.
Straight
That's
up.
big throwbacks. Cause
Hell yeah.
fucking, so we started. The first song was Average. I was on that shit. This is when I used to rap. For the people who didn't know, used to fucking rap. Not a bunch, not as much as these guys. These guys were going crazy. But you know, it was me and then Dace Kevin and then that fool Justin Saint. So that was the first song. But then the second song we dropped, it was Justin. Was I on Bliss's key? No, I don't think I was. Right?
I think you were.
I
bro.
think I was, huh?
It was kind of long. Look,
Yeah, it was four verses.
Yeah.
It was just, I think so then the second song it was Justin first, and then I think it was me, and then it was you, and I remember your verse was pretty hard.
I think Kevin.
No, and then
no.
Ethan was
Oh,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ethan's verse was like hoping life turns out okay.
Yeah,
Don't say joints lit up all day, huh?
Yeah.
Fucking that one, and then I remember your verse was hard too. Justin's verse was hard as fuck too. It's like I open my eyes and realize that people around me are blind. I'm popping these pills because I don't have no time.
Yeah.
And then your verse was like fucking. I just remember how it ended. You were like, "World in my palm and I got a tight grip."
Ever.
And I was like, "Oh shit!"
Cat.
And then after that, then we started linking up, doing the fucking commotion shit, linking up every fucking week. We did commotion, man. It's fucking
The shows around that time too, bro. Like
yeah.
I don't know. We were just, we were on it, bro. It was a good time, bro. Definitely a good like introduction into just being comfortable making music and with people that we were like genuinely like it was more of just like music, you know. It was just like
Yeah, like
homies having fun.
yeah,
Day.
it was and it's funny too because I kind of want to talk for let's say like maybe the audience or the people watching who like are just starting making music. It's like the way that we started was fucking kind of weird because like it's crazy because everybody starts somewhere. Like fucking we literally we didn't even have an interface. We just had a fucking USB mic.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you remember this. We just had a USB mic that Kevin got off of Amazon. He got it for like $20 and we just plugged it into Ethan's computer. And then whenever we had no interface, no room treatment, no nothing, and then fucking when we would record, it was so fucking weird because we didn't know how to record, or like Ethan knew how to produce, but he only knew so much because he was like on the producer side. He wasn't on like the fucking he wasn't on the like the recording aspect of shit. So we used to fucking like I don't know if you remember, like we would get the beat and we would drag the beat in, but we didn't know how to like record like with our voices over the beat. Well, it's because I think we didn't have an interface.
Yeah.
So what we did was we downloaded the beats on our phone, remember, and then we would fucking put our earphones in, and then for those who use FL Studio and those who know, we started recording on FL Studio. We would just record into Edison. And then after we would record into Edison, then we would chop up the audio clip, drag it in, and then just line everything up to. It was so fucking weird. Yeah, it was like super like kind of like backwards or some shit.
We weren't really like in that like in time rapping. Like we were like it was like you would rap it and then put it on beat.
Yeah, throw it over. Yeah, it wasn't like yeah, we weren't recording real time. You know what I'm saying? Like like real time recording, which is fucking like crazy. And then I remember like yeah, dude, I knew zero about fucking engineering, and then Ethan didn't know much either, so it's just crazy how we started. And then that's why we recorded that way. But then over time, fucking Ethan cracked FL Studio for me, and then we started learning more and more and more. But and it's funny too because I also remember like around that time with like Bliss's Key and Average, and even like right now I done the bands on me right now, like all that shit. I remember like Ethan, like I remember looking at the screen, just like looking at the DAW in general. I was like, what the fuck? This shit looks all fucking crazy. And then I was like, what the fuck? Like, I have no clue. Like I would just see like colors and this and this and this and that, like the EQ, like that shit would trip me out. And then fucking I remember we would record and fucking Ethan would put like hella reverb on the vocals.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he would just like fucking drown the vocal and reverb and we would
drain it out.
Yeah, and we would be like, bro, like that sounds weird. Like and we're like, nah, like turn down, and then he'd be like, huh? Like what are you talking about? And we're like, bro, like that echo is like too much. And then we turned out, and then that's when I knew I wanted to get into engineering too, because I was like, this shit don't sound right. So that's why I moved into that path. But yeah, and then I also remember too, that was like when we started recording like together. Well, that's where we all started. That's where we came from. But when did you start recording like kind of like your own shit? Like because
Wavy, bro.
Yeah, that's the first one, huh? Wavy, yeah. Fucking got these rings all on my fingers, and I know you see the ice. Huh? my team full of savage, and we not playing
nice.
Yeah, that shit was fucking funny. Like, it was wavy. So, that was, like, your first song, huh? And you did that one with Ethan. Yeah, I remember that. Okay, and then that's when you started taking your own path. But then I also remember, too, you would record, like, hella... Or you would do, like... You would write a bunch of verses, and then you would post them on fucking Instagram. Remember that? Around that time?
Like, just, like, set up my phone, have it on my notebook or something, and, like, spit over the beat.
Yeah.
Drop videos like that.
You would do hella shit like that, and then also you would fucking... use Hokusai a lot.
Bro, I literally like I would literally like stay because I couldn't like where I was staying at with my parents, like I had to share a room with my sister, and like I couldn't be up playing beats or nothing. So I would literally like, and I remember for some reason, bro, around this time, like it was just super cold around like in the valley, like it was like around winter time or something. When I was getting really serious, as far as like writing music and wanting to like really do it. But I couldn't stay, and I've always been like a night out, bro. Like I've always like
just been
like,
up,
bro. Yeah. Like I love the nighttime. But yeah, bro. Like I would literally like stay outside all night and like wear like a couple layers of clothes, like hoodies and shit, and like I wouldn't come inside till like the sun was out, like the sun was coming up type thing, and I would just sit outside with my Bluetooth speaker and just be riding all night.
Really?
And I literally started like I learned how to record myself on Hokusai.
Yeah.
And then after I started making some songs on there with like my Apple earphones and shit, I found out about GarageBand. and then I got pretty good with that, like as far as recording myself, like by myself.
So from Hokusai, you went to GarageBand?
Yeah,
On the
on
phone?
my phone, yeah.
Okay.
And then like I would record like Big Shot. There was a song I made called Big Shot. I recorded that on my phone too, and I recorded that at my job, bro. At the time, I was working at this warehouse.
Yeah. At
And
that
on my breaks
at
and
that pool
shit.
company
Yeah.
thing? Yeah.
And like on my breaks and shit, like I would just like, or not even, bro. Sometimes it'd just be dead, and I'll just be in the back warehouse, like it'd be quiet.
Yeah.
So I would just have my headphones in and play the beat, and I'll just be fucking literally recording songs like at work type shit. Before like I started coming to the studio and shit, I just wanted to learn how. Because I was just so tired of like, for me like
waiting.
and yeah, and like eventually like I started with making music where like I would play the beat, hear it, and then like write it out. But then I got really like used to like hearing myself over the beat.
Yeah.
So like eventually like I started doing that so much that like even now like unless it's like a boom bap beat or like a boom bap beat
boom
or something
bap
like
beat?
that.
Yeah.
For like I don't like listening to the beat like that. Like I have to hear, like I can't
Your
write to it unless I hear myself on
your
top
voice
of it. Like,
over it.
yeah, exactly.
Well, I think that's good. I think that's what made you get so good, kind of like so quick, because it
Fact.
like I feel like there's a lot of people who like they write their verses first and then they fucking
They
like
wait till they get to the studio.
yeah, and then they record over it. But then like there's nothing wrong with doing that, but when you do that, it's like you don't really know how your voice is gonna sound over the beat when you write it. Like it may not come out how you think it's gonna come out, like in your head.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I
Exactly.
learned. Yeah, like even when I would make music too, because back in the day when I was still rapping, it was the same thing. It's like I would write some shit and then I would go on the mic and I'm like rapping, and I'm like, oh fuck, this is
Sounds way
fucking weird.
different.
Yeah, it's weird. So I like that technique, and you doing that though, it's cool because that's when you really did start to fucking get way better.
Yeah,
Because you guys heard the
every
first
day,
song.
bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys heard the first song. Like it's funny. Like I feel like when you kind of like write and then like at least when you're starting off, maybe I mean some people like they got it. If they got it, they got it. You know what I'm saying? But like when you write and then you just kind of like rap over it, you could sound kind of like stiff.
Yeah.
But once you start to figure out like your voice over the beat, you know what I'm saying, like that. And I don't know. Honestly, I use you as an example to other people. To be honest, as far as like comfortability wise, like there's
Yeah.
certain people that come up to me and they're like more beginnerish. And I just tell them, like, just get used to recording more because you're going to... And I always use you as an example because, like, I've seen it unfold, like, right before my eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I could see what that work ethic kind of... Or working in that way, like, what are the benefits of it? Which is, like, cool.
Yeah,
so...
yeah. And that's the thing, too, is, like, I didn't like the waiting. Like, waiting, I have to go to the studio. Or even if, like, I was going to record this song... and I recorded it on my phone, and I'm still gonna come to you to record it.
Yeah.
I would make it still, just like as a reference.
Yeah.
To like already know how I'm gonna want to do it when I get here, type thing. So like,
Yeah,
even if
and
the quality's not great, like as long as I can hear myself over the beat, like it just prepares me for when I come here, like what I want it to sound like.
Yeah, and that's smart. And we all have phones, and nowadays it's like fucking way easier. Because when we first started, it was just like, yeah, Hokusai, and I'm pretty sure Hokusai was kind of weird, but then you were doing GarageBand, and GarageBand's like you can learn on that too. But now they even have shit like fucking BandLab.
Yeah.
And a lot of people be doing that shit.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people.
And you could get plugins and everything for that shit too, dude. Like I remember even like on what's it called? GarageBand. Like when I would record on GarageBand, like I would watch YouTube videos on like how to get the auto tune. And it's funny, bro, because I didn't even know nothing about like music theory as far as like keys and shit like that.
Yeah.
So like for some reason, bro, I always felt like I sounded good in C sharp minor or C minor, and I heard like even Eddie says it too.
No, I think it was C sharp minor. It was C sharp minor. I remember, and you would always put it. You would be like, put C sharp minor.
Yeah.
And then I would put up like, I'm like, bro, that's not the key. You're like, nah, dude, C sharp minor.
Nah, for real. But like I don't know, for some reason I would put a lot of songs with that
Key,
auto-tune
yeah.
or something, yeah. Before I knew like, nah, it doesn't sound that good, but like in my head it did.
Well, quick tip. If you guys want to know the key of your song, if you guys have a computer, or if you're going to make music, honestly, get a computer. Like, that's going to be the best way. You can still do shit on your phone, but I know it's limited. But if you guys want to know the key and the BPM of a song, which is, like, essential when you're recording, all you got to do is go to, like, TuneBat. That's the website. It's a free website. TuneBat.com. Upload the beat, and then it's going to tell you the key right there.
And it tells you the BPM, too.
Exactly. So you just fucking do that shit, and then fucking that's how you get into it. But yeah, fucking, yeah. So so then you did all of your single shit, and then that's when we kind of like transitioned to, or you transitioned to like, I even remember like Let Me Know. Hey, we did that
Yeah.
one. What was your first ever music video? Like your solo, was it that one?
Let Me Know.
It was that one, huh?
Yeah. Oh, fuck, wait. It might have been Nope with Misty.
No.
One of those.
What? No, nope. It was Let Me Know first.
Yeah,
Let
then
Me Know was
yeah,
for
you're
sure
right, you're right, you're
first,
right.
and
Yeah.
then
You were in
Nope.
that video too,
Yeah,
Kevin. You
yeah,
and
we were
Kevin.
sitting there. Is that one still out?
Yeah,
It's still up, huh?
Still up, yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
fucking peep that if you guys
That
haven't
shit's
fucking
yeah, that
seen
shit's
that
sick.
shit.
The cinematics. Shout out to my cousin, bro. He filmed that
Yeah,
one.
fucking Owen, huh?
Yeah.
Shout out Owen. But yeah, man, there's so much shit, and then so from that, then there was a bunch of projects in the works too that you kind of started working. Well, you had like 3 EPs, or not 3, maybe 2.
On SoundCloud.
Yeah, I remember you.
Quattro. One of them was called
Oh,
Quattro.
Quattro. That's the one with the picture of you when you were a baby, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so so you
Quattro.
had that one, and then Abstract.
Abstract. Yeah, I was with Ethan.
That was fire.
The collab tape with Ethan. It was like 5 songs.
Yeah, that one's fire. And that you guys recorded that shit when he moved to Santa Clarita, no?
Yeah,
Huh?
it was in his
Yeah.
room in San Fernando. Yep. Shout out to Ethan.
Fucking yeah, there's a bunch of shit.
Yeah, we knocked that shit out pretty quick too. I was there for a couple of days and we just like ran it up, and he already had the beats, and this fool, you know how he works, but he's just making beats like that. So
Yeah.
he would just lay out the beat, and then my boy with the vocals, and the rest was history, man.
What happened to those? Cause I saw your SoundCloud page and they're not up no more. Did you just like archive them? Like are they still there? But
I think I might have, to be honest.
You just like privated them.
Or you
huh?
know what? I think Ethan released it.
Ethan released Abstract.
I just had it reposted
Reposted?
on my thing. He might have took it down, to be honest.
Ethan?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
One of those. Or maybe
But-
it's still on SoundCloud. I
But
don't
still,
know.
Quattro, you had that
I
one.
archived that one. I
Yeah.
put it on like unprivate type thing.
Yeah, even Let Me Know and fucking
Yeah,
all of those.
I did. Yeah.
Fucking.
It was more of just like I don't know. I had him up for a while, as far as like, just like to remind myself like how much the improvement and stuff in my music, as far as like doing it more. But
Yeah.
I just kind of wanted more of like I wanted something up that like when people ask me like, oh, you know, music,
What's
blah,
your
blah,
shit?
I just want to show them like my more like
Recent
more
shit.
recent, yeah.
Yeah, like the other shit.
But I still got those songs. Those songs are all still there for sure.
Yeah, one day people can hear the
For real.
difference, the reference and shit.
Facts.
So what do you think? Okay, so I mean we took 2 different routes, to be honest. Like you went more 100% rapping, you know what I'm saying? And I went 100% engineering.
Yeah.
I mean now we're fucking here. But
Facts.
but fucking what do you think you've learned like over the 5 years, at least like rapping wise, that's different from when you first started? Like what have you learned along the way, like maybe for creating or rapping or just music in general? Like what do you think you
Just stay. I mean, I've even been one to like do this, but like I feel like one of the biggest things is like to stay true to like what influenced you to even do it to start off, and like always remind yourself why you started doing it.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like as far as like
like just keeping up
just
with
finding your sound, dude, because like that's like one of the major things is like you can keep rapping. Like for instance, like my first songs and stuff, that was me not even knowing yet like
yeah,
how I wanted to sound. I would purposely make my voice deeper, like
yeah,
trying to like I don't even know what, like just trying to like sound like different or something, you know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
it was just more of like me starting to get comfortable with it, and like
yeah,
I would say like one of the things if you're like starting to make music and just being a creative, and just stay genuine and true to yourself, and just make something that, at least for me, like a lot of the music I would make, I would try to make something I would want to hear, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like something that would speak to me. Obviously I'm the one writing it, but
yeah,
like just the same connection that I had with other artists, big or, you know, up and coming,
local,
like
yeah.
listening to them and like having them say things that I could relate to, and it makes you feel like, all right, it's not just me type thing, you know?
So it was like more of like a lyrical kind of thing then?
At the start, I was more of like, I really tried to just do like lyrical rapping, like
Bars
and
like
shit like
straight
that.
bar, yeah.
But eventually, like now, like what my music is, I still love rapping. I still do like a lot of boom bap stuff and like Detroit beats and stuff like that, where it's just rapping like bars.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've kind of veered more to like,
Well,
like
you
the melodic,
found your sound.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Yeah.
So I found like what I originally wanted to do. It just took a little time type thing. But I would say like, I mean, I learned to get comfortable,
but
stay true to myself, and just not try to like Cause for a while, bro, like I'm not gonna lie, like I was just trying to like, all right, like what's cool right now? What can I make that's like cool, you know? But it's
Yeah.
like you eventually learn that's not gonna get you nowhere at all. And like that's what I'm saying. Just remember like why you started doing it, and like just stay consistent, bro. Consistency is like key for sure. And like I've even been like that's like a kind of like a hypocritical thing to say, cause I haven't dropped shit in a cool minute. But
you're still recording though.
I've
That's
been
the
recording
thing.
all
Yeah.
the time,
Mhm.
all the time. I was recording.
Like maybe consistently recording and consistently dropping, those are two different things, because it's
100%.
like also when you drop, you want to make sure your drops
And
get
really like,
heard.
and also like for a while, like how we were talking about, you got more into like computer stuff.
Yeah.
For a while, like all I really cared about was just like, all right, I'm gonna pull up, record, and like
Yeah.
that's it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But I noticed that like at the end of the day, even if I'm not gonna be an engineer, like me looking at what you're doing and shit, so that eventually like now I can like tell you like what I want, you know, and for the most part
to
know
have
like
that
the terms and
communication.
stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I love
Cause
that.
then like if I'm in here and I don't know what to tell you, for a while like I would tell you
Yeah.
like some shit, and
Yeah.
I couldn't like say it
Say
the right
it.
way, like,
Yeah,
oh, I
like-
want this, and then you do it, and you did what I asked you, but it's like that's not what I meant, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so eventually I just had to like listen to what you would say when you were doing things, ask you questions and stuff like that, and then just really get in tune with like, and I feel like
That
one
artist
good
engineer relationship.
thing, exactly, bro. Like I feel like it's cool to work with a lot of people, but you gotta find like your people, like
Yeah.
the people
100%.
that you're gonna just stay working with, because at the end of the day, like you guys are helping each other out, like, you know, like you've helped me out, you've been blessed me for like the longest, you know, to like
For like
just with
5
everything,
years,
bro.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So like just as far as like, you know, like just the love in return type thing, and just have that connection with like your engineer. No
Give me
cap.
some.
Yes, sir.
Been at it for a minute.
Straight up.
Fucking cheers to that. For
Straight
real.
up. Cheers.
Fucking cheers, everybody. Hope you guys are enjoying it so far. But yeah, we're just getting started. We're just vibing today. I didn't even write too much for this one. Like I just wanted to talk with my boy, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But yeah, so fucking so where were we? So yeah, just like okay, so what you learned, and yeah, and I feel like also like I kind of want to share a little bit what I've learned too. I feel like music has like eras and pockets of sounds.
Yeah.
Like think like I want you guys to think of music like this. Think of music in bubbles. Like in my head, that's kind of how I think of it. Like in bubbles or eras. Like let me know if this makes sense. But it's like think of like back in the day, like when rap first started or whatever, or not when it first started, but when it was like in the 90s or whatever, like gangster rap, like Tupac, Biggie, NWA, or whatever. Like that was its own bubble. You know what I'm saying? That was like a trend that was popping at its time. And then in the 2000s, like there was still rap or whatever. Like I guess like more like Lil Wayne, Eminem, 50 Cent and shit.
Yeah.
So that's like a bubble. You know what I'm saying? And then the early 2000s, Chief Keef, fucking even Future was like slowly emerging in the early 2000s and all that. Another bubble. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I see music as in bubbles. Then like the 2016-17 era, all these trap rappers, the double XL freshmen, and then now to the current like wave where it's like the new wave of shit.
Yeah.
Like I see music as bubbles, and music is always kind of like evolving. So as far as like your sound, it's like it's kind of hard. So I think over 5 years, one thing that I've learned, because even as an engineer, like I want to create like a sound. Even everybody artistically wants to create a sound.
Yeah.
Producers, fucking engineers, and artists and shit. But I feel like you gotta kind of like understand like where that bubble is currently, and like I feel like you could create something that fits within that bubble, but still also like be true to yourself and your roots to add yourself into that bubble.
Yeah.
But then also like kind of like push it forward just like a little bit, so you're pushing sounds further.
Yeah. And I kind of
If that
like
makes any
like how
sense.
you brought up the like the evolution of stuff and like music and stuff. Like rap was always looked at as like a gangster thing, like a
Yeah.
when it started like that, like when they were making like NWA and shit like that, when they had their wave and their reign of like just like being all over the news and everything, like stuff like that, and like people just knowing about their music. And I'm sure like at that time, like parents and stuff were probably like, nah, don't listen to that shit, you know. And I mean, even still now, like that's how it is. But like I kind of like how like it's kind of evolved into like it's not like straight gangster shit. You could talk about some gangster shit or whatever if you came from that, you know, that life, or you lived that type of life.
Yeah.
But I just feel like it's dope how like rap is kind of like
It's like more creative now.
Yeah. It doesn't always have to be about killing some motherfucker or something like, or like, you know, shit like that. Even though, you know, that shit's still around, but I'm saying like I feel like it's a lot more open now to like say other shit on like a beat that you would hear somebody else talk, like go you know, talk about like some violent shit or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, you just gotta kind of like find your pocket, and then
and if that's what it is, bro, and that's like the type of person you are, the way you grew up, then that's cool. Like how I'm talking about staying genuine to yourself. If that's what
yeah,
it is, then stay genuine to that. You know?
I feel like that's why there's a lot of people who actually are like raised in the streets and they are talking about street shit and like and it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like I
And
feel
there's
like
ways
that's
to talk about it too.
yeah,
like,
that's how it like honestly fucking free Vike to be
yeah,
honest,
straight up,
cause that dude's fucking dope and he just grew up the way that he grew up or whatever and I
straight
recorded
up.
him a few times too and shit. And fucking you know what I'm saying, all those fools that he hung out to, like I recorded them too. It's like certain people grow up in certain ways, so if you stay true to yourself and you're actually like rapping about genuine life experiences, then it comes out way more authentic.
100%.
So
And you could just hear it, bro, straight up. Like that's what I was saying. Like for a while, like I would try to like not like I would just kind of you know like try to see what's trending and stuff like that. But then like it gets into like you. Yeah, I feel like I said genuine so many times, but yeah, just
nah,
like staying true to yourself. And,
yeah.
like figuring it out like as you go. And it's just trial and error, bro. That's all it is. Like you can't be scared to do new shit. Like I be making some songs sometimes.
No, I
like,
love
just
that.
random ass shit, but it's like sometimes, bro. Like you'll hear a song, like especially now, bro. Like there's a new wave of sound, but I feel like now it's just every day there's something new, bro. Every day there's something like something that sounds different, and because it sounds different, it's popping. And
Well,
it's,
okay,
like,
yeah. So I wanna build and add to that because I feel like if we're like I'm glad we're getting into this because we're strictly talking like sounds. So one thing about kind of like life or shit that moves or whatever the fuck, it's like nothing in this universe ever sits still.
yeah,
To be honest, everything's always moving, always changing.
yeah.
So yeah,
You gotta
don't
adapt with the times.
exactly. Like, think about, bro, like, you guys can, like, rewind 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Shit was different, and now it's different. And then 5 years from now, everything's always going to evolve and always constantly change. So, if you're an artist, like, honestly, you have to keep things pretty fresh. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's like a power to, like, reinvent yourself into new categories and this and this
Yeah.
and this and that.
And
Because,
a lot of people tend to put themselves in a box too.
yeah, or they stay in, like, the same thing and they hear like they're like in the same sound and then the thing about when you're in the same type of sound you kind of you get stuck in that sound like honestly like if T-Pain were to drop a song like Bartender nowadays it wouldn't even get as much plays because it's different like it's a whole different sound but that's why you got to look at certain artists who are actually like always constantly evolving. Like the two big ones are fucking honestly like yeah Kanye and Drake like they've been around for a long time
And
for a
and
long
like
and their sound is always changing.
and as far as like I said like putting yourself in a box when you do that, certain people that you could have made music with won't hit you up because they already hear what you make, and some people will be like, well, he probably wouldn't. You know, like if I knew some fool that only made like old school rap, I wouldn't ask him to like hop on some lit shit. You know?
Yeah,
what I mean?
like on a new
Yeah,
a new type of thing.
But
Yeah,
if I run into someone that I could tell they're diverse, like that's why I try to make all types of music, because then it's just the connections and stuff, bro. It's always better to it gives yourself like more opportunity to work with other people. Because if you just stick to one sound or something, like you're only gonna work with those people. You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly. And yeah, another prime. Yeah, like even Kanye and Drake. Like those are the two prime examples because like Kanye, like back then, he's been around in the 2000s and he's still popping now. Like
Yep.
he's fucking huge. And then
Adapted.
yeah, and he has features with new artists. He has songs with fucking like yeah, Lil Baby, The Weeknd, Lil
Yep.
Durk. You know what I'm saying? Off
Yep.
off Donda, and he still has like I'm pretty sure people who he came up with like his roots and shit like Pusha T and even Kid Cudi, even though they're beefing,
Yeah.
but it don't matter. Like it's still like.
Yeah.
It's like that evolution of shit, and even Drake too. Like Drake as an artist, he's put so many people on because he's adapted. Like I think my earliest memory of Drake was fucking Bedrock.
Yeah.
That's the first song that I remember listening to from Drake or whatever, or maybe like, it's like So Far Gone or something.
Yeah. So far gone.
That's the tape, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's I forgot what the big song on that one was, but maybe that one was the first one. But then yes, and then fast forward now, like then like even nowadays, like he has songs with like Gunna and Lil Baby too, and all
Bad
these
Bunny.
Bad Bunny, like all the new artists. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you gotta like if you're gonna do music and if you want to do it on a big scale, you honestly do have to like change your sound unless you want to stay in like a certain box forever.
Yeah.
What you were saying, like stick in a box. It's just about being like a bigger artist, or it's creative. And then if we want to talk about newer people too, look at someone like fucking Playboy Cardi. When he first started, his sound was completely different to his Whole Lotta Red shit.
Yeah.
And honestly, I do fuck with him because like I feel like he's always trying to like push the sound of music too and just change it in new creative ways. And he's honestly another giant when it comes to creative wise, especially for this new wave, because I feel like if he wasn't around, then this new wave would sound nothing like what it sounds like now.
Like the Uzi and all that. And I think
And
it's
all the
dope
newer
too.
rappers like Yeet, Can, all that
Yeah.
shit, Ken Carson, you know what I'm saying?
The fact
like
of, like-
Cardi paved that.
Yeah, the fact of like bringing other genres into the music is dope as fuck too. Cause I constantly I have a lot of ideas, and it's you got to find the right people to do it with. As far as like, I feel like it's kind of hard to find someone that's like. I mean, there's a lot of people, but it's kind of hard to like find someone quick that like is on the same wave as you as far as like mentally trying to make music and make a movement.
Are you talking about like locally?
Yeah, and I'm talking
Okay.
about like live instruments too, like live instrument stuff like that, like guitars and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Cause like, I grew up, like I said, like I grew up on a lot of rock music and stuff like that, and like,
Yeah.
eventually, like I'm just waiting till like the time is right to make the right shit. But like I want to include all of that into my music and stuff like that, just to like, cause I feel like it gives people more of like an insight of like, all right, like it's not just rap music, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Cause like a lot of people love to just listen to like rap music and that's all they listen to. But it's like for me, I can't do that, bro. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I love rap music, bro, and I'm gonna listen to that shit every day, but. Sometimes I gotta throw a little, like,
Yeah,
you know?
you gotta change it. No, I'm the same way, and I feel like I said, like a lot of people are the same way because I'm pretty sure all you guys here watching, you guys also have like different extensive musical backgrounds from the shit that you guys listened to when you were
And
kids.
some people are afraid too, bro. Don't be afraid of like fucking, like if you got the ox to play some shit that's like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's not what they've been playing the whole time. Like, cause sometimes you never know, bro. You play some songs, someone's gonna be
People
like,
are
yo,
gonna
what
be
is
like,
this,
oh,
bro?
yeah.
What is this? And they never heard of it, and there you go. You just put them on some.
Well, like as humans, it's like a human nature thing. As humans, we like new. Like if you like everything is like, oh, the new this, the new that.
Yeah.
Time's always like evolving to what's new. So when people hear something that's new, they either love it or they hate it. But this is another thing too that I say, like at least like the way that I consume music, like maybe when I first listen to things, I may not be like fully in tune with the music. You have to be in tune with music, especially music in general. Like you could hear a new wave of a new sound and not be in tune with it because you don't know what the fuck it's about. You get what I'm saying? But then once you like kind of like really just like sit with it, because obviously it's gonna be new and things are always gonna be new. Things are not gonna stay the same. Like I feel like certain people also like to stay in like certain like nostalgic pockets of music. They're like, oh man, I miss the old times.
Yeah.
But it's because they're just like they're too attached to how they felt within that time.
Yep.
But things are always fucking evolving and changing into new. So
Sure.
so at least me as a consumer personally, when I consume music, I'm always like, maybe even at first I may not even like it. Like I remember when Astroworld first dropped, I kind of didn't really get it. I was like, what the fuck? And now that's like one of my favorite albums.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
It
then
grows on you for sure.
yeah, and even like Whole Lotta Red too. Like everybody was like, huh? And even myself, I was like, huh? And then I listened to it now, and it's like wow,
Yeah.
breathing.
Bro.
I take my shirt off, another hoe stop breathing. Like that shit's hard. So, yeah, that's as far as like consuming music. But for the creators out there too, yeah, honestly, like you want to evolve too. I feel like that's like a law of like power, like or it is one of the laws of power. I don't know if you guys read books, but there's literally a book, the 48 Laws of Powers. It's a pretty twisted book, to be honest. Like there's like crazy shit in there, but it's just like it's cool to kind of like know. But it's like when you reinvent yourself, then you're always like fresh and you're staying in the public's eye, because if you don't reinvent yourself, then people are literally gonna see that and they're gonna say like, I've seen that already, and then that's when your audience starts to lose interest. So it's a lot of shit. But so as far as that, so like where are you trying to take your music? Oh, you say the live instruments, but like that's like maybe like let's say like that's like later on in the future.
Yeah.
What about like right now? Like, or okay, before we get into that, what's kind of like inspiring your music now, or what artists that are popping like maybe like now or the past 2, 3, 4, 5 years are currently like inspiring your music and your sound to push it to new levels?
So like I feel like I got a couple of like inspirations as far as like the types of music I make. So like if I'm rapping like on a Like I fucking love Mac Miller, bro. That's
Yeah.
like that's my
R.I.P.
dog
Yep.
right
Yeah,
there.
that was
R.I.P.
beast.
bro.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
And like
Same. I love Mac Miller.
and like if I'm making like as far as that realm of music, those are my favorite type of like he's definitely one of my biggest inspirations, bro. Like that. Literally, like I started making music and taking it serious because of him, like Kool-Aid and Frozen Pizza and like shit like that, like the kids tape and all that. Like that really like it was just like it was just some kid in high school, you know what I mean? Like on Nike, like Nike's on my feet as far as like that video just inspired me because like it wasn't like a crazy ass video. He's just there with his homies and like he's getting picked up from high school, like his high school and shit, you know? And like around that time, like when I was getting really into him, like I was starting high school and shit. So like it was just like a
I like it's a party on Fifth and
yeah.
tell me if you want to go. Yeah.
And like so as far as that type of music, like lyrical and just like more emotional, like vulnerable and stuff like that. He's very vulnerable, bro, and the shit that he says, and like he's very genuine about it.
And
like,
if you that dude talks his shit, to be honest. Like
does.
honestly, R.I.P. Like if you look at his old like Breakfast Club interviews and shit like that, like he's talking about that, how like like he wants to like do like I don't know, like real shit. Like I saw like some highlight clips like a few days ago. I can't fully remember what he was saying, but it's just like like his artistic take, like how he said like, oh, we're human or whatever. He's like, yeah, like I may be making some shit now, but I'm gonna make some other shit. Or and then also like he was also always kind of like practicing like that what do you call it, like that vulnerability. And then well, as far as like meaning behind the music, like I feel like that's what resonates with a lot of people. Like why do you think honestly Tupac was so big? Because he would rap about real shit. And then also like people like Kendrick and shit, they rap about real shit. And this is what I also want to say to other people who may be watching, who create music. A lot of people, like humans, like you gotta understand humans, because at the end of the day we're all humans. I mean it's gonna get crazy. I wonder if like when robots start walking, do we need to make music for the robots? Are the robots gonna make music for the robots? Who fucking knows? Because things are gonna get trippier and trippier and trippier. But as far as like human wise, you know what I'm saying, with a little human touch, we're emotional beings, to be honest. And I feel like that's what like really, like if you think about a song that you're just like, man, like I love this song, like it touched you in like a certain way emotionally. So but then practicing as an artist to create that emotion to give to people, that's a skill. 100%. And that's what even one of my favorite artists of all time, fucking Kevin Parker from Tame Impala, he said the same thing with like his album Currents or his newest album or whatever. He said that like through time, like he learned how to become more vulnerable within his music, and it's like a skill that he like practiced. You get what I'm saying? So
it's like at that point, bro, it's like,
and that's what resonates with the most people.
100%. Because it's like behind cameras and stuff, you know, you might have like talks with people that, and you speak differently as far as like if it's just two people in the room and you feel like comfortable with saying certain things. You're gonna say a lot more than you would like in a group or out somewhere. You know what I mean? Like on some deep shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And like that's why it's dope. Like when you can see like people that they put that aside and like, yo, I'm gonna be like, if I'm talking to you, like I know you. You know what I mean?
And it's crazy, and that's where you really see like the true power of music. Because when like I went to like the Tame Impala shows or whatever, like I've seen them twice already. And honestly, like those, have you ever been to like a huge show like that, like at a 12,000, 15,000,
like an arena type thing?
Yeah,
nah,
bro. Honestly, shows like that, like you gotta go to one like that at least, because, and if like to someone that you really fuck with, because that's a whole other experience too. Like that's where you really see like music could be like fucking bigger than, like it feels bigger than life. Because 100%. Everybody goes to see that artist, and then they're playing like a certain song, and like let's say it's like they're being vulnerable or they're doing like some crazy song, and then everybody in the fucking crowd of like let's say like 25, 30,000 people are fucking singing that song, bro.
For word.
If it literally, like even being in the crowd, like that shit feels surreal, because like I said, everybody is tuned into that fucking moment. So bro, like it's like mind blowing. But if you get good at doing that, you know what I'm saying, it's like we're all here, you know what I'm saying, we're all doing our thing at the end of the day.
I mean, that's how I felt, bro, when we went to the 88 Glam show. It wasn't that big, but like like at that time, bro, like in our lives, like I feel like just a lot of shit was just happening like fast, bro. I feel like that was like there's different stages, you know, to like making
I'm gonna
music and
handle this
stuff.
one.
Yeah, right. I'll open this one up. Let me finish this bitch. I'm fucking slacking.
They are kind of fucking. Cheers, guys. Again. They are kind of warm, but fuck it.
But like I don't know. I feel like that time in our lives, bro, was like I like to like categorize different parts of my life, and like when you think about them, and you could like tune back into like how that had you feel. You know what I mean?
That part,
In
well,
moment.
that's nostalgia though. But
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like no, but I love it. Like
Yeah,
because
for
I
sure.
feel the same way too. But you were saying?
But like that's why I brought up that show. It's like I haven't been to like a big venue like that, but that's how I felt at that show, bro. Because like at that time, like we had, you know, like you guys had put me on to 88 Glam.
Yeah.
And then like after I started listening to them, bro, I was just like, it's a whole other thing when you're there, and especially with the people that like you love and shit. Like our group, like when we went, like we would literally bump these motherfuckers' music
All
every
the
day,
time,
bro. Every time
yeah.
we'd go somewhere in the whip, like. So like when we were there, like that feeling of everyone just singing their music and shit was dope as fuck. And yeah, that's probably still my favorite show to this day.
Yeah,
For sure.
that's the true power of music. But fuck, man. Honestly, like if you guys fuck with like a certain artist, just that's another thing too. This is just like a complete side note. But actually, like if you can, like go to their shows because the way that I see it is like I don't know, like honestly, bro, like Mac Miller for example, like he passed away, bro. I never got to see Swimming live. Like
I know, man.
that's fucked. You know what I'm saying? Like that's pretty fucked.
That's like that was for sure like a bucket list. Like I'm gonna see Mac. Like I gotta see Mac.
Yeah, I actually got lucky to watch him. I saw him at the Smokers Club in 2018.
That's fire.
But that was before it was in early 2018, and it's funny. I saw him the year he died because I went 2018, and I saw him and he performed the Divine Feminine, which was pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? Like that was dope. And then he played like other old songs like Good Am and all that shit. Like he played songs off that, and it was at a festival. But festivals are a little bit different. Like I like festivals, but
It's not really focused on like
one art, bro. Festivals are fucking hectic, bro. It's
Yeah.
like, dude, there's always somebody playing from the beginning in the morning to the end of the night.
Yeah.
There's always
You gotta be
somebody
running around,
playing.
oh shit, this stage is playing.
Run to this stage, run to that stage, run to this stage, run to that
Yeah.
stage, and then not only that, it's like it's not like a full like thing to, and then also the artists that perform at the festivals, they only get like a certain set time.
Yeah.
Which is like it's cool, but I don't know if you can actually go to like an actual live show. That's why I want to go to the Flatbush show this year. To be honest, we gotta see what's good.
Yeah, we gotta hit that for sure.
Like, bro, and I saw Flatbush live too at that Smokers Club the same day as Mac, and fucking, bro, honestly, bro, this shit was fucking insane too. That shit was crazy. But yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, support your artist, and then especially if you are an artist, like another thing too that I kind of want to say that's just like a side note as well. Yeah, you gotta be like a fan and like a student first before you even do something. So it's like honestly, I'm not even gonna lie. Like even with these podcasts, like I do podcast or I watch podcasts. I watch a lot of podcasts, and then from watching them, I was like, man, like I want to do this. And I feel like that's like, let's be honest, like that's kind of how we started music too, because we listened to music, we were fans and shit, so we were like, oh yeah, let's do it. But then when you like experience shit in different ways, then it sparks different levels of creativity, and you can kind of understand like what the effects are of what it is that you're doing. So like let's say like when I went to go see these shows like this year, like I'm pretty blessed. I'm gonna watch Kendrick. That's just gonna be fire. Hopefully, I get to watch Flatbush, and then I'm going to like. Do you know who Tudor Cinema Club is?
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch them too.
Sick. That's fire.
Yeah. So like you know what I'm saying? It's like, if you can just invest and go and watch those shows because it's like it's different experiences, and then it's like it truly is like inspiring, but then
and that's it, like that. My bad.
No,
that you bring that up is like I just want to say, like, as far as, like, I just want to put this out there for the artists that are listening. Like, it's sometimes you be feeling like, fuck, dude, like, I just got to be on my grind, you know? Like, I got to be working. I got to be in the studio every fucking day, blah, blah. And I understand that 100%. Like, that's a big factor to it. But also, like, give yourself time to, like, go out and experience shit and just do fun shit, because at the end of the day, you need to experience things to write about it. You know what I mean?
100%.
And if you just stuck inside too long, like, it might feel like, because like you get like that guilt sometimes, bro. Like you feel like you be on your grind, and then like you slack for a couple days.
Yeah.
You know, you don't record something or something, and then you feel like, fuck, dude, like I gotta get back in the studio, blah blah. And like I experience that all the time, but like
Me too, with engineering.
I always just try to do something. You know what I mean? Like if I can, like I try to go out somewhere and stuff. And like I'm not saying like every fucking day, but like, you know, just go out to experience things, give yourself time to like just live your life rather than just working every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, stay consistent with it still. But I'm just saying like, just get out sometimes and like do something that's gonna help you, inspire you.
Yes, it's like there's like a time and place for everything, and then I mean it's like a black hole. Like fucking, you could work forever till the day you die. Like that's like a black hole. But then at the same time, you could also like learn forever till the day you die. So it's like just keep
gotta stay learning.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Learning
So
something,
keep those two things in mind. But then also like don't forget to like take care of yourself and enjoy your life as well. Like enjoy the fruits of your labor, for whatever it is. Like even if you may not be like, as far as like money wise goes, like maybe not all of us are able to afford like all these crazy nice things or whatever, but if you worked enough and you stacked up enough and you did whatever you needed to do a little bit, then it's okay to like enjoy yourself a little bit because you earned it.
Yep.
And then when you enjoy yourself and you go out and you experience all these things creatively, then that can experience other things. It's weird. It's like that's like on some like life shit.
Not for real.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's just like enjoying
In general, like not even just as an artist, just as, you know, as a person, whatever you're doing in life.
Yeah, but we kind of got sidetracked, but it's okay. But yeah, I just want to like bring it back to so newer artists now or whatever. That's like kind of like inspiring your sound, for future stuff. Like, what do you think is kind of like your sound, or at least, or so if we're talking about sounds, like where are you trying to take your sound? Because I feel like when artists and rappers start off in the beginning, they're like, oh, like what should my sound be or whatever, but that is your sound in the beginning. You sound like a beginner.
Yeah.
But it's okay because you're just fucking like learning to do other shit or whatever, or like you're barely learning the ropes, but now you're like a pretty well-versed artist, you know, and you're always like evolving your sound. Like I like your latest tape, 5, like that shit's dope, you know what I'm saying? Like you had like the meaningful song, and then you also had the,
I try to mix it up a little bit, just trying to have a little bit of everything.
Like okay, yeah, like but so where do you see your sound going, or like what else are you, or
I feel like I've always like,
yeah,
to put it into one word, I've like my main like music that I love listening to is I love like weird sounds. Like I love like well, like spacey, like that's why I really
euphoric, right?
Yeah, euphoric, exactly. Like I just like euphoric type shit, and like I feel like just on the type of music that I grew up on, and like understanding like the back end of like as far as like the creation, like the creative aspect of like making music, and like I feel like for me, like I would want my sound eventually like to just be like you're floating. That's the best way I could put it. That's like the, just because of the type of music I like to listen to, and like just like sounds and very like just out there music as far as like
ambient and shit.
Yeah, and just like making you feel like good, like just feel good music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I might make you cry if I say some sad shit. You know what I mean? But it's like
I feel like I want to hear more of that.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, I need it. Yeah, I got a couple things like that. It's just as a person too. Like I'm gonna be honest. Like I've always kind of been very like closed off and just like everything's cool. You know what I mean? And I feel like that goes for a lot of people who can relate to that as far as like just acting like shit's cool when it's not. You know what I mean? And
it's
like,
kind of crazy because I get what you're saying, because for the most part, like every time I see you, you're always like cool. Like you are cool. Like and it's crazy because we're all going through our own shit, and you may be going through your own shit. You know what I'm saying? But fucking,
it's good to let it out though sometimes.
Yeah.
For sure.
No, 100%. Like, well, that goes back to the topic that we were talking about earlier, which is like, oh, we just fucking, you know what I'm saying? We're human, we're emotional beings, so that's what the term resonate means. It's like when you say some shit and other people are like, damn, like I feel that and I can connect to that. That's what you're resonating with somebody.
Yep.
That's literally what it is. But you were saying, so like, yeah, you're more like a closed off person and this and that.
Yeah, so I feel like as far as like at the end of the day, like I like to make more of like happy, like feel good music and
Upbeat,
like
yeah.
upbeat type stuff.
Make people feel good.
Yeah. Because like that's just the stuff I like listening to when I'm not feeling good. You know what I mean? So like if I hear something that's like, oh, I'm like, you tend to, because like even bro, if you're going through some shit, but like some song that just you love comes on, like all that shit disappears. You know what I mean? You're just turning up for those 3 minutes or whatever the fuck the song's playing.
Well, yeah, everything is kind of like about like frequencies. Like I'm pretty sure you guys know about all that shit too. Like, oh, like I'm tuned into this frequency. Like the vibes, the energy is my third eye. No, I'm just kidding. I'm fucking with you guys. Nah, but it's like if you tune into sad shit, honestly, you're just gonna get more sad shit. It's like law of attraction. The more you put your mind on something, is the more you get in return. So it just depends on like what you consume. But
I feel like a lot of the music that I make is also inspired on like, not mainly off that, but like within the past 2 years, I've just experienced. I've had like a different outlook on life as far as like trying psychedelics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like just getting in tune with that, because for the longest I was kind of like scared of that shit, and even for like with weed too, bro. Like I don't know if it was just like
I remember that shit.
Yeah, like
this dude didn't even smoke shit.
I didn't smoke nothing. Like
and it's funny. I don't smoke now at all.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, I used to smoke hella. And then this dude was like a little square bob.
Yeah. Straight up.
It's funny how this dude. Honestly, I trip out on that. I'm not gonna lie. I trip out on that because it's hilarious. Because in the beginning, bro, you're like nah. But honestly, I feel like not everybody, but I know I was like that too.
Yeah,
like in the beginning, I got introduced to weed in like 6th grade from fucking Kookish.
Yeah.
Fucking that dude fucking Kookish.
Shout out Kook.
Yeah, that fool had like some bud and shit. And then it was me and Kevin. And then he was like, "Hey, you guys trying to smoke?" And then I was like, "Nah." I'm not gonna smoke. I was like, "Nah, no, never." And then like in high school, I would start chiefing. And I was like, because everybody, I don't know. But it's funny. So you were saying, so trying psychedelics and all that stuff.
Yeah. So since I was young, bro, I didn't even smoke weed till like my senior year. Yeah. And like Justin's literally like, shout out to that fool, bro. Like that was like my first time really like smoking, and then after I did, I was like, man, I should have been fucking like, what the fuck have I been doing this whole time?
Don't do drugs, kids.
Don't do drugs. This isn't me telling you
advocating
guys to do it.
It's just a personal Devincii experience.
And I know a lot of motherfuckers out here be doing shit. I know.
Nah, to be honest, I know too. It's crazy.
And like,
just make sure you guys take care of yourselves. But go ahead. Yeah.
Just like as far as like taking psychedelics, shout out to Eddie, bro. Like I lived with Eddie for a little bit, and like we moved into this spot, and I feel like that's when we really like started just like experimenting with music in general. And dude, that man is so fucking talented, bro. Like that, like, to be honest, just living with him, just really like good. Every day, just as a person, and like the way that he thinks and like thinks about things. Yeah, it's so dope. And like living with him really like got us like tight, bro. Like we lived with each other for maybe like 6-7 months.
What were some of the things that you guys did like creatively when you guys spent all that time together? Like how would you say like creatively?
Fuck, dude. I mean, I would just say like just trying out different sounds, bro. Just trying to like sample different things and like,
because he was a producer as well, so he was producing shit, and you guys would like bounce back off of those ideas. And shit?
And he
so that's dope.
Yeah, so like he was just, and he's very easy to work with, bro. Like you tell this man what you need, and he knows, and he's gonna make it like 10 times better than what you even asked for. And like that's just like, it's always been like that with him, and like he's always just been easy to work with, and that's a big thing too, bro. Like finding the people that are easy to work with. Yeah. Like it's not always gonna be easy, but it's like you just gotta find someone that's like, you guys are like in tune,
on the same level, and like rolling at the same speed.
Yeah. So if, I mean, for that, bro, like as far as like, I feel like I can't give you like an exact example, but I just know that every single day that we like live together, bro, we try to make music every single day and just try something new, like something completely new.
Well, what came out of that? Like, did you guys release anything within that era that maybe people could listen to, or that like what's something that you guys dropped within that era that's out? Because let's say like one song that you recorded within that era.
Well, a couple songs with Kane, Devin, and Eddie. I mean, there's a couple songs on SoundCloud, like even with shout out to Tangi's, one of the homegirls. She sings. But around that time, like when I met Eddie, like I said, bro, like I haven't dropped music in this is the last time I dropped music was Timeless. A single I have called Timeless. That was after the album. That was after the Bandit album. Yeah. And since then I haven't dropped nothing. But I have a lot of stuff that I haven't released, and I'm trying to figure out like the right way to release it. But I do have songs still that I recorded in that time of being like living with him and stuff. And I feel like we
are
weren't really
done.
focused. Yeah,
Okay.
we weren't really like we were focused on dropping stuff, but we were really just focused on like finding our sound as a team. You know what I mean? Like me and him type thing. Cause
Yeah.
like I would just work on different beats from whoever would send me beats or something like that. But that was my first time really locking in
Building with, like, a
someone,
producer.
like one producer type
Yeah.
thing. And like he kind of like, and with him already like
Producer type
we
beat.
would we would listen to each other's music so much and be there every day while we're recording that. Like it was kind of hard to not figure out what we like. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I knew what he liked, he knew what I liked, and we figured out what we both liked together and make that shit like one. You know what I mean?
That's fucking fire.
And like just living with this fool, bro, it's like literally all we would do is every fucking day just smoke weed,
I just
trip
out
or
in
something,
fucking
and just make
Mexico,
music,
huh?
bro. Yeah, now he's in Mexico, bro. Gotta get him back.
Yeah, when he comes back, I most definitely want to get one with him too. So I know fucking Eddie saw the mic one, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna watch this one too. So
Facts.
shout out to you, my boy.
Yes, sir.
Honestly, you are mad talented.
Yes, sir.
I remember when I first like, for those who may not know who Eddie is, put EDDI 3E, I
Yep.
think,
Mm-hmm.
or 3IE, whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Wavy.
Yeah.
He makes really good music. But fuck, I remember I first found out about him when like he was producing. He had like a bunch of beats, I think, like on BeatStars.
Yeah. And
And
YouTube
shit.
too. He had his YouTube page and shit.
Yeah, and well, how did you get introduced to Eddie?
Damn, bro. All right, let's get into it real quick. So
Yeah.
basically, so I had already been following him on Instagram, and we would tap in talking about like we're gonna work and stuff. You know how that goes, you know? And
Yeah,
it's just like
networking.
it's
yeah.
either those messages go into you as working, or it's like
or it's
shit
just
that
it
never
falls
happens.
through. Yeah.
And in this case, like I could just tell like this fool was really like, even before I met him, like I knew he was really genuine. It wasn't just like oh, this is cool, I make beats, you know? Like he
Yeah.
was really like happy about what he does. And so basically like he told me like, yo, bro, we should link up. We were both in the valley, and then so little side story. So basically what really made it all happen and really get Eddie like pushed to really like keep pursuing the music
Yeah.
is I guess Eddie one day it's a trip, bro, like how life works. But so Eddie went to go pick up weed one time at a shop,
Yeah.
and I guess he went to school with Devin in middle school, I think,
Mm-hmm.
and he hadn't seen Devin in a cool minute. Shout out to Devin, that's the other Devin, the only other Devin I know that I fuck with, Kane. But yeah, so I guess he went to this weed shop and ran into Devin at the weed shop.
Okay.
And they just started catching up, like, oh shit, bro. And then I guess Devin had started making music and then told Eddie, like, oh, I make music. And then he asked him, like, oh, you still producing? And Eddie was like, yeah. And then after that, it was like, all right, Eddie, like, after Eddie found someone that, like, you know, like a past friend type thing, but, like, they already had that connection.
Yeah.
Like, it really pushed him to, like, all right, like, you make music, I'm down to, like, start producing with you. So they had already done that, and I'm want to say
So
maybe
Eddie
like,
and Kane.
Yeah,
already
yeah, yeah.
linked up. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So then that's when Eddie one day was like, hey, bro, like, you should pull up right here to Zoe's.
That's the AWMB. Huh?
AWMB. Always working, never busy.
That's funny.
But yeah, so like he basically like told me to pull up one day to Zoe's crib. Shout out to Zoe. We used to record a lot of music there. And like after I pulled up that day and met everyone, it was just like yeah, bro, like this is it. Like
You guys
you
were
know,
all just like clicking and
yeah,
shit.
we
It was
clicked and
another
everyone-
group. It was
yeah.
it was from Aikido then to AWMB, which is fine. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? It's like
facts.
just find your people and
Yeah,
work
for
with
sure.
your people. Yeah.
And like these fools are just so serious about it and like just like really wanted to do it and just dope ass people with dope ass like vibes and souls and like everything after that. Like
So what happened with AWMB? Like, are they? So what's it looking like with them? Like, are they all still making music?
I mean
too, or-
everyone in there is making music for sure. Like Alex was in there, fucking Eddie, Zoe, Dev,
Mo.
and Mo. Yeah, shout out to Mo. I mean, everyone's still making music, but the whole AWMB thing was just like, I mean, we experienced it, bro. Like, just
Yeah,
as a
even with
group,
Aikido,
as a
yeah.
group, it makes things a lot harder
Yeah, it
for
does.
people to agree on certain things and just like to tell, like, let's just say you told 2 people to do this shit and stay consistent with it for 2 months. It's gonna be easier than telling 7 people, 8
Yeah.
people to like, all right, you guys gotta do this every day, plan it out, and just some people just didn't take it like.
Serious,
Yeah, just as serious. And it kinda just,
everybody
like-
was on like different like levels.
Yeah, and I
of-
feel like kind of it might have been like bad timing too, because at the end of the day, like no one was. It wasn't really like a group, like a rap group or anything like that. It was more of just like a collective of like people with talent, and we all kind of do different things, but we work together type thing.
That was more of like a collective, and
Yeah.
Aikido was more of like.
But I mean,
group.
yeah, I'm still cool with everyone, but everyone's like, everyone's doing their thing, and
That's good.
And I mean, yeah, I mean, everyone still supports each other. It's just more of like a life, bro. Life just
life
happened.
and
Like
from,
at that
like, a
time, we were
distance a
able to
little
link
bit.
up and shit, and then shit just happens, and you can't do it as often no more. But yeah. So I mean, they're still cool. Everyone's still cool. It's just like it's kind of like it's there, but it's not there no more.
Well, it's an
just
era
like,
of time. Like I said, everything's always changing. So it was like Aikido was an era, AWNB is an era, and that was like I feel like that was like when you were going crazy too. That was like the highlight era. Fucking TYH came out of that era.
Yeah.
Fucking Bandit.
Yeah.
Both two honestly solid fucking albums. I want to see what you have next, or like like you gotta lock in like that again.
No,
to be
for sure.
honest,
I know.
like yeah.
I mean, I got a lot of music.
You're mad talented, bro. I'm
Appreciate
not
it, man.
like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
are
Same
talented,
here, bro.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
But fucking you know what I'm saying? It's just with all proper timing, you know what I'm saying? And you already know, like, if you need any help from me, like I got
course,
you.
bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Same.
So
For sure.
that's why. So we got something else cooking up too. Well, we
Yeah.
have like a whole project.
Yeah.
I honestly, I just need to do the masters and shit. But
Nah, yeah.
but what does that even look like? Like you have a whole project done, but
It's basically, yeah.
but
for sure.
but what like, so you have your project done, but you still record new music, and like I'm just thinking out loud right now because I'm just like fuck, like I wonder what, fuck, let me hit this one time.
Right.
But like I wonder kind of like how artists think, because Mike, shout out Mike, episode 3, we're on episode 6 already, way ahead of it, but episode even 4 and 5 haven't even came out yet.
Yeah.
Ahead of the game, be ahead of it. Be
Facts.
ahead. But whatever. But yeah, so like I even did like a whole project with Mike and shit. So the whole mix master, even with the stems and everything. I did that with Mike, and then he recorded a whole other project. So what I'm thinking out loud is like, do you even feel like you want to still release those songs that we did, even though you're creating newer music?
I would say how many did we did about like 10 maybe.
Be real. Look, I have the note right here.
Bring up the motherfucking receipts.
Yeah, so I have, let me see, check. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I did 8, and then these are all on your SoundCloud. Those, like, I guess Eddie or other people did.
Yeah.
So
but I still okay. So
I have 8, and then 9, 10, 11, 12. So it's like a 10 project album.
Yeah. I would say out of those 10,
8,
bro.
9, 10, 11, 12. No, 12. My bad.
I'm genuinely
12.
Yeah, 12. It is 12. Like out of those 12, bro. Like since then, I want to release all of these. But as far as putting them into that project, Wake Me Up When We Get There, that's the...
Ooh, he shouted it out.
Yeah,
There
Wake
you
Me
go.
Up When We Get There.
That's what it is.
Basically, like, what I was trying to go with that is, like, I told you from the jump, like, euphoric. Just, like, I wanted it to... Literally, in that name, like, Wake Me Up When We Get There is basically, like, you're not here right now. You're, like, kind of lost in the sauce, but in a good way type thing. Like, you're just lost in it, trying to get
just
it going.
coasting by.
And just wake me up when, like, shit's popping. You know what I mean? Like, wake me up when, like, because I feel like the basically what I wanted it to be is like in that name is like you're living like the dream, literally like you're dreaming. So just wake me up like when like it's like really going, like really happening type shit. Okay. So that's basically what I was going with.
So you wanted
with
it to sound more like kind of like a dream.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that's why like these songs, for the most part, like Beam.
Oh, don't give the names.
Oh yeah, I can't.
Just
but anyways,
that
yeah.
one, that one.
So like that one, that one. And like, yeah, probably like those two. I'm probably gonna like, those are gonna be somewhere else because I feel like they don't fit in.
Oh,
and I got some other stuff that I feel like fits more
better
of the project.
Well, just let me know if you want.
Yeah,
that,
for sure.
That's
Trust.
yeah.
But like that album is still like something I really want to do. But I feel like the way I'm gonna go about it.
Any like kind of like idea on when you may release it this year, next year? What are you thinking? Realistically, because I know there's a lot of shit popping off.
On some real shit, like I dropped my last album in December of 2020.
Yeah,
it's about to be almost 2 years since then, and I feel like it might just be right to just run it again in December.
Of this year?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like I could for sure have it ready. the music, like that's gonna be the easy part. I really
The
want to figure out
promotion,
promoting it, and
videos,
just,
everything.
yeah, the visuals and everything. I just really want it to be a whole thing. Like I really want it to be a whole thing. As far as like the Bandit album was more of like
Kind of like a mixtape. I think
Mhm.
I see that one more of a
I
mixtape.
feel it, yeah, because it's more of just like a mix of like I kind of just put it out there of like what I can do. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, and then whoever can listen to that. And like people ask me like, oh, like the music you make, and I'm still very proud of that album. Like I feel like that's
No,
eventually
it's a good body of work.
like
yeah.
that's like when I found out like
That is Bandit, the one that has Hell of a Night.
mhm.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And that song, like, shout out to Misty, bro. We were just talking about that song too. He was like, bro, I don't care how old that is. Like, we're gonna make a video to that shit. So you guys might see that.
So we're back. So with your Bandit was your last album, and then you have your new one, Wake Me Up When We Get There. Make sure you guys stay tuned. Maybe December or whatever. But what are you trying to look into to promote it as far as independent? Like what kind of moves, like as an independent artist, like what do you feel like you want to do to kind of like push your shit out a little bit more? What are some kind of steps that you want to take?
I already have a couple like so I really want to make like a little documentary type thing to go with it. And like I want to kind of split it between like just life, like day in the lives, and me in the studio type thing. You know what I mean? Like part of both worlds, like how I'm coming from. Because I really want people to like understand like where the music's coming from as far as like where I'm at in life and like what I'm doing or trying to do and going through and shit like that. So for sure, as far as promotion, I really want to make like a little documentary type thing as far as like the process and stuff. And I already have a couple of like
that accompanies.
yeah.
And you already
just
have
to like
clips?
to see like and just to see like the back end of it of like what I'm doing and what I do on the daily and like how I work and in the studio and where I'm at and stuff like that and where shit's getting recorded. So as far as like promotion, I would probably like I want to do a documentary. I want to drop merch. I want to drop merch for like I mean this is off topic a little bit, but I want to drop merch for the album. But as far as like another clothing brand, I got another clothing brand that I'm working on. I just want to.
It's Freshest Fabric still, or is it?
No. That's the Valley Bricks. That's
Valley
that's my
Bricks.
page. Yeah, like that I resell clothes and stuff. But for no, it's called Grateful for the Hurt. GFTH. So basically, the meaning behind that is just like being grateful for like all the shit that's hurt you to build you up to like where you're at now. So that's like that's just the clothing brand. But as far as like promoting my music, I want to do merch for it for sure. I already got like my designs and stuff for what I want to do. I really want to get into like doing a lot more shows and just tapping in with people that can just get like a spot like venues and type shit like that. But it's like, I mean, as far as promotion, like visuals, I already got a couple of videos done. Shout out to Nikki. Yeah.
Shout out Another Dimension.
Another Dimension, yeah.
Another Dimension. Dimension.
But yeah, dude, like I already got a couple of videos, visuals, photo shoots that I have planned out for it, and just a lot of visual stuff, bro. A lot of dope visual stuff.
Well, you need to put two and two because sound is. It's funny because it's not like a tangible thing or like a visual thing that you can see. It's just like you just close your eyes and you start hearing shit.
Yeah.
That's what music fucking is. So,
For sure.
but when you accompany, I feel like as far as like making something hit within an era or to create like an era or a vibe off of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you gotta basically put it in its own world. Like look at Astro World or whatever when Travis was doing all that shit. Like it's like a theme park or whatever and all that. So that's what gave it like that feel, that kind of sound. Like even with his like videos and all that stuff, it's like. And I feel like even with fashion too, as far as like if you're doing merch
it's a big
and
part
shit,
of it, bro. They go
like
hand in hand.
yeah, if you kind of like put if you put like the idea of like your merch or the shit that you're doing within like a creative kind of world, like make it fit in like a certain world, then I feel like that's kind of like where people buy into it or whatever. Even like let's say like somebody like Yeet or whatever too, it's like when like let's say like your world has a certain slang too. Like that, he's like, "Look, cranky twiz, that's my twiz."
Yeah.
Or whatever, like all that shit's like that's like a world in itself. And when people start like catching on to the lingo of certain things, then that's what like sticks, and that's what creates, like I was saying earlier, those bubbles,
You're like your niche. Your
yeah,
little, like,
those eras. But then, like, you make that popping off, and then you create some new shit.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But
And at
yes,
the end of the day, bro, like all I'm trying to do is like just make music and talk my shit, whether it be some ignorant shit or some life shit. Like I just wanna just bless people with like just like my life and just how I am as a person. Cause like the same way I am on music, bro, like that's how I am as a person, to be honest. Like whether if it's some ignorant shit, sometimes I'll be just talking shit, or
yeah,
since I just be chilling and just like vibing, you know what I mean? But like I like to give the best of both worlds type thing. Cause it's
Yeah.
not always like one thing. Like you're not always chilling, you're not always hype. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
it's just there's levels to it.
Well, what are some of the struggles that come with making music? Like, what do you think is like one of like the struggles that
Damn, bro.
make it kind of like difficult to get your vision out?
I feel like I mean personally, I've dealt with a lot of like family issues and stuff like that. As far as like just doing my own thing, bro, and just not really like caring what other people got to say, as much as I respect them and stuff. You know what I mean? Like
Within your family?
yeah, it's just like it's caused a lot of like fallouts and arguments and stuff, and like and like I'm gonna just get real like serious about it. Like to be honest, like I'm sure a lot of people that make music and do what they're trying to do can relate to this. Is like off the bat, bro, you're not gonna be making money like that. Off the bat, you're gonna be looked at as like, oh, you just want to be a rapper. And in the way in the time that we're at right now, it's like, I mean, I already know, like I could peep who's really about it and who's like they're just like, oh, it's cool to be rapping. You know what I mean? And like and it's very easy to just like see like who's really about it, and they're just someone's just doing it for like a trend type thing. So
Yeah.
basically,
It's
what
been like
I'm getting,
that since we've been making music.
yeah. So like what I'm getting to with that is like, when you're really genuine about it, bro, and you love the music that you're making, and like you're out at the studio every day, or you're going out every night to film this or do some kind of content, or just like just brainstorm or something like that.
Yeah.
It's very easy for like your family and stuff, if you're living with them and stuff, to just look at it as like you're just going out doing some fuck shit. You know what I mean? Like you're just out and you're throwing your life away. You're not really working, because they don't see like the
effort that you put into
or whatever.
it.
They don't see that because they're not there with you. You know what I mean? And like they can only go based off of what they see, and like and if you're not popping off, or you're not making money like this or whatever right away, like you're just gonna kind of be looked at as like. And my family, bro, like my parents, like they support me as far as like, I've always been raised to like do what I love to do, and just if you fuck with something, just stick with it. You know what I mean? And just keep doing that if that's what makes you happy.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, it's like they also worry about
we're in the real world.
We're in the real world,
we
like,
need to survive, and you need certain things,
jobs, and just making money and shit like that. And that's also a big factor, bro, because it's like when you're up and coming artist, whether it be music or painting or clothes or something, like it's not always just gonna pop off right away. And it's like people who obviously like our parents and shit grew up in a different generation where like they don't understand that the opportunities that are here now weren't there before. So they don't understand that.
Like the
in
internet,
a sense, like shit's still hard, but it's like easier in a way. You know what I mean? Like now, like bro, they like, cause when I feel like when older generations hear you talk about, oh, I want to be a rapper, this and that, their first thought is like they think about the biggest gangsters or like shit like that, and it's just like, oh well, like those fools were about that life, so how are you gonna do it? It's just like they just don't understand it. You know what I mean?
You can only bubbles.
You can only tell them so much, bro. So like, as far as like struggles and shit, I've dealt with a lot of just like my parents just thinking like, oh, like like, what are you doing, or and I know it comes out of just their love for me. You know what I mean? Like But at the end of the day, like. I mean, I'm gonna listen to what they gotta say, but I mean, at the end of the day, bro, I'm gonna be doing what I'm gonna be doing. You know what I mean? Like, they're not gonna be there forever, and I just gotta lay out my platform and lay out my legacy of whatever the fuck I'm trying to do.
And I feel like that's at least like what like the cool thing with having homies. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, it's like we kind of get it because we're in the same boat. Like, honestly, 100%. Like, I'm pretty sure for the people who are tuned in, like, if you guys are, like, completely, fully financially stable, then more power to you, and that's 100%. A blessing. You know what I'm saying? Like, enjoy and take advantage of that. But if you're, like, an up-and-coming artist, or, you already got your shit straight or whatever, it's like, it's really a grind, and that's like on some real life shit. It doesn't even matter if you're fucking like making music or trying to start your own business or doing anything. It's like you have to make a lot of sacrifices, and it's kind of hard too, because for myself personally too, it's like I feel like we see other people and they're all doing like their own thing. Like there's a lot of people who are just like kind of like programmed into doing like, oh, like I'm just gonna work a 9 to 5, and then turn up on the weekends and do that for the rest of my life and do all that type of shit. But when you have like a dream and a vision and a goal, it's like, and you want to make it work, and the people around you don't really see it, then it could cause like conflict. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But even if you give it your 100% all, but it could be very discouraging. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And it's like, but at the end of the day, it's like life, and it gives you more opportunity to talk about more shit within your music if you're making music, or to just like, you just got to kind of like take that energy and transmute it into some other shit,
Yeah.
to and then just pray and hope that everything works out for the better. But then also too, it's like you do got to be realistic and just take care of yourself and make sure you have like, even if you're not making money now, like you got to do something, whatever the fuck it may be, to make sure you're straight financially. Because
Yeah.
if we go
And that's a
back
big
into,
factor, bro,
yeah,
into music in general. Like,
yeah, and we can go back into the like the old days of like gangster rappers or whatever. Like, yeah, I mean, they all slang drugs and shit. Like, look at someone like 50 Cent or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like they like that dude. Like, I saw like Get Rich or Die Trying and shit, and it's like, it's funny. Like, yeah, that dude was just like the side. He's like, yeah, he's like, even if the crackheads wanted to give me coins, I would take the coins, like, and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah,
because there
you
was
gotta
other,
get it how you can, bro.
yeah, and it's just like, you just gotta maintain that hustle and stay strong and keep your head straight, and yeah, just have hope for the future, to that like things will work out. And then once everything starts clicking, like it's a saying, like, yeah, it only takes one. Like, imagine one song, one video, one this, one that, and then you could like do that, and then like, yeah, you can get it, but then once you get it, then you have to like be able to keep it.
Yeah.
And that's a whole other thing too. But life is an ongoing, like I said, yeah, it's a black hole. Like, we could be working forever and ever and never stop working, but you gotta have fun with what you do with work, but then at the same time also make sure you're getting like everything straight, so you can survive off of what you need to survive with. Yeah, it's
Facts.
it's a big struggle, but if you guys are tuned in and you guys are trying to invest and do all that, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm not gonna lie, like, this isn't like the craziest big podcast or whatever, but it's like, I put my all into everything that I do, and I know
Yeah.
all these other artists put their all. Like, we're all just trying to make it. So for the whole community here in Goose's room or whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I can't wait till the day that we do fucking make it, because it's like, to be honest, bro, like, I'm not even gonna lie, like, I feel good about this, and it's the same way. And it's like, at the end of the day, bro, like, I don't give a fuck to like, bro, like, I could like die trying to make shit work, but it's like, I'm just gonna keep on going, and like, I'm never gonna stop. And I hope everybody around me comes at it with the same energy. That way we all fucking enjoy the fruits of our labor. But it's
Yeah.
only a matter of time, and things aren't quick. So if you really want to get into the music and take things like to like that serious level, and just
My bad.
no, go ahead.
I just want to say, like, as far as like the artists too, like, speaking to you guys, it's like, it's very easy to get discouraged from looking at other people's lives. You know what I mean? And I've been one to do this shit.
1000%,
Like,
yeah.
I've been one to do this shit. Yeah, and like, just like comparing shit and like, oh fuck, well this guy's doing this, like,
Especially
and
with
that.
the internet, bro. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
bro,
You
it's
see younger
fucked.
people fucking
Yeah.
popping off.
But you also got to think too, bro. It's like there's different opportunities and people grow up differently, bro. Some people grow up in a life where like they literally like have had everything handed to them, but we don't see the back end. You know what I mean? We just
Yeah.
see like the, all right, this was popping the fuck off or whatever. He made it or whatever, and it's just like, and it's also like an age thing too. Like, even for me, bro. Like, I'm only 22, but like, I be thinking about fools that popped off when they were like 17, 18, you know what I mean? Like, youngins are still teenagers and shit doing their thing, and then you're sitting there like, fuck, like,
what am I
what
doing
am I
wrong?
doing, bro?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, what am I not doing right? Or like, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But I'm just here to just basically say, like, that's a whole bunch of bullshit. Because at the end of the day, bro, like, there's people like fucking. I like to think about this too. Like 2 Chainz, bro. That fool, he didn't even like make it in the rap game. So he was like, I think like either 30, 35, one of those, like something like that.
Really?
And he was older, bro. Like he didn't even.
Well, Future's another one too. Future's about to hit 40 right now too.
Facts.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's just a good example of just like, obviously, like throughout those years until he turned 30 or 35, whichever it was, like he didn't stop. And look at him now, he's cooling. Like, so
Even
at the end
Jay-Z,
of the day, yeah, facts. So like at the end of the day, like, I'm just here to tell you, like, just stop comparing to that shit and just keep grinding how you're doing, because none of those people that you're looking at are gonna help you out to do it. So just stick with it and just like see how it goes.
And just make it work for you. Like, honestly, like, we're in the real world. Make sure you guys all get your fucking money, because it's like I feel like there's a lot of people, I don't know, there's probably still like a community out there who think like, oh, like, yeah, no, like, fuck the money, like, I'm just doing it for the art and this and this and that, and that's beautiful.
Yeah, but
you know what I'm saying? But it's like, we're in the real world, bills have to get paid, you know what I'm saying? Like, shit happens, life happens, like, even if you die, bro, it's like that costs fucking hella. Like, let's say you want a funeral or some sort of, it's like everything fucking costs, bro. So it's like, you guys just gotta make sure you are kind of like putting money first, and doing whatever you can. But we have the luxury of the internet, so just figure out what you can do to make things work, and then pop it off. You know what I'm saying? So like, if you guys are tuning into the podcast, like, if I'm gonna speak for myself, like, I started these podcasts because I want to give each artist like their story. Like what we were saying, it's like we all have like a deeper side to us than the music, and that's why I started that. So like, that's what I saw what was missing, like the hole that was missing,
yeah,
to connect the music and all that. And I just want to like tell the story more, and then one of these days, like, yeah, these podcasts, they're gonna be priceless, and
yeah,
they're gonna be gems, you know what I'm saying? And they're gonna grow, and they're gonna do all that. So
yeah. I just want to give a shout out to every single person out here that has like literally like, that's what keeps me going. Like people like that just be telling me that, like, I just had shout out to the homie Anthony. I'm gonna put the whole government out there, but Noriega, that fool. I don't know if you knew who that is.
E.T.
Huh?
Remember E.T.?
E.T. Ah, nah, not that fool, bro.
His name was Anthony too, no?
Yeah. Shout out that
funny.
little homie, bro.
Shout out the little homie.
He used to skate that fool all the time.
Yeah. You know who I saw? Yes, because I copped. Yeah, I was at the mall copping the fits.
Yep.
But I saw that fool fucking Robert. Remember Robert?
Oh yeah,
He
the
was
one at Sheldon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that fool at the
That's
Burbank
funny.
Mall. That shit was fucking funny. And it's
Sick
just a
ass.
trip because he's like a few years younger than us.
Yeah, facts.
And fucking, yeah, like, I saw him and he's all grown now too. It's
Yeah.
weird seeing like those
Seeing
fools
people
like
grow up.
Yeah. That's just a
Facts.
trip. But yeah, you were saying shout out Anthony?
Yeah, like that fool just hit me up like 2 days ago, and like it's shit like this that really keeps me like feeling good. Like even when I feel like I'm not doing shit, like he texts me, he's like, "Hey, bro," like he swiped up on my story to like a performance that I posted, and he was like, "Hey, bro, I just want to let you know, like ever since high school, I've been known that like you just been going crazy with this rap shit, and I just want to like," and I haven't talked to him, bro, and I don't know how long. I've been following him on Instagram and stuff, but like he just basically let me know like I've been peeping it since high school, bro, and like I already knew like you were about to be doing your thing, and it's just like shit like that. That's like, even from the jump, even when like we started off, like there's a lot of people that are still fucking with me, and they don't have to, you know what I mean? And like they just be stay showing support, and that's just one of the names of many people that be like just messaging me on the daily of just like giving me that little like push that like, yo, bro, like I just want to let you know like I appreciate your music and stuff like that, you know what I mean? And like just stuff like that just keeps me going. So I just want to give a shout out to everybody who's been doing that for me and still rocking with me.
Shout out everybody. But fuck it. I mean, what else?
So I don't know.
I think that's cool.
For sure.
You think?
Yeah, chilling.
Yeah. Well, before we get out, so what's next for you? Like, honestly, like, okay, so now let's talk more about goals, because you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to have some sort of game plan.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So what's your game plan
I mean,
coming forward? Like, I
I
know
kinda
we're going to
like-
talk about like the music and stuff,
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
what is it that you feel like you want to
So I mean, like at the moment, like I'm a Valley kid, so
the Valley Boys.
at heart, bro. Like I've been out here my whole life. And, like,
Everybody here
I just
on
been
this podcast.
straight
Shout out the
up-
Valley.
Shout out to 8.
We got to
But,
fucking put this shit global.
No cap. From local to global.
For real.
But I don't know. I mean, I feel like, and on some life shit, rather like not the music. I want to move back out here because currently I'm living in Palmdale, California, the fucking desert.
The
But
dessert. The dessert.
yeah. So I shout out to the homie Jonathan. I just moved in with him. I'm gonna be staying with him for a little bit just so I can like move back out here in the valley because shit be fucking expensive, bro. To be on some real shit, you know. And
Yeah,
just,
with everything nowadays.
yeah, just trying to get back out here. But yeah, I'm trying to get my own spot out here in the valley. I'm living out there right now. I'm just gonna be on my grind, trying to make my bread and just record music, bro. And like, as far as like goes, like where I see myself in the next year is like, hopefully just getting my shit established as far as like my music and my clothing of what I want to do. Cause like to be honest, like music's my number one thing, but clothing has always been there for me. Like I always just like, I've always had like this infatuation of just like clothing that nobody else has, custom like one-on-one pieces and stuff like that. So
Youngin' with the freshest fabric.
no cap.
Huh.
So like I mean,
Denim
as far as
jeans and-
that, like I
And Vans classics.
no cap, they're right there, my boy.
Huh.
But yeah. So I mean, as far as that, like life, I just want to come back out here in the valley and just keep it moving how I'm doing, and just do a lot more shows and just hopefully get the fan base up the right way. Just promoting myself and just really trying to do it. And I mean, I could do it as much as by myself as I can, but it's honestly like up to y'all too. You know what I mean? Like I obviously got to make shit for you guys to fuck with, and 100% I will. But you know, it just takes that support, and I'm always show the love right back. But
Yeah.
I mean, as far as my goals, bro, I'm just trying to come back out here, be in tune, like, you know, be close to everybody that I've been growing up with, and just keep it rolling, bro. And I mean, we'll see where it goes from there. But
Yeah, and then real quick, I just want to get like into a little thing before we close out. But as far as like we're in the day and age of internet, we have the internet era. We have the benefits and the luxury of the internet. So if you want to grow or do some shit, like honestly, yeah, build a community and really tap in with your fans, like how we're tapping in with you guys. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, and if you guys show love and if you take care of us, we're gonna take care of you. And that's just kind of like how it works, and you just gotta reciprocate it. And then if you're an artist too, like one thing I want to say is like, understand that, yeah, like your fans really do take care of you, so make sure like you give them also what you want, because without the fans, without the people tuned in, then we wouldn't really have no career. So shout out to you guys, and thank you for you guys for tuning in, you know what I'm saying,
100%.
for with whatever, the music, the art, the shows, the merch, you know what I'm saying, because it really does mean a lot. And at the end of the day, it's like when we're trying to do some creative shit, it's just like everybody has their own path, and we're just trying to work and do whatever it is that we need to do.
facts.
But fuck all that shit. Yeah, we're good. So I think that's it for this episode of the Goob's Room podcast.
Yep.
And if you enjoyed it or if you got something out of it, I just want to make sure like it does really go a long way. So share, like, comment on, and then subscribe too, because I don't really ever say to subscribe because these podcasts go on YouTube, but I'm trying to grow the channel a little bit. So
subscribe.
Yeah, make sure you subscribe, because I want to get my URL on YouTube, and I need like 100 subscribers.
Word.
So if you're not subscribed already, just be sure to subscribe. Thank you for staying tuned, and we will catch you in the next one. So peace.
Yeah.
Yup.